Hello, Shabbat Shalom. Well, I'm Rabbi Andy Vogel, and come on inside. It's time for Shabbat services, and I'm glad that you're here. We are, well, as you know, we are a warm and welcoming congregation, and I want to be warm and welcoming to you and to everybody who's here. So come on in. This is a little bit of an unusual night. We usually have all sorts of food here, but not tonight. It's just me in the sanctuary because, as you know, we're practicing physical distancing. So, but come on in. If you've never been here before, welcome. I want to encourage you to find a comfortable place to sit. That was a joke, because all the pews are wooden pews. What can you do? But come on in. Tonight we're going to sing and pray and find a sense of uplift in being together, in celebrating Shabbat. We're going to pray and meditate and find goodness in our lives. And it's great for everybody to be here. So welcome to Temple Sinai. You're ready to sing? I want to encourage you, if you're at home alone, or even if you're with people that you love, sing and join with me, because it's much more fun to welcome Shabbat together. So join with me already. Here we go. We're going to bring the joyfulness of Shabbat to our lives. Here we go. La 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 la. La 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 la. 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 Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. La 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Join me. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la.
Right, Shabbat brings a promise of peace and joy and hopefulness into our lives, and we very much need that this Shabbat. And I can see on the chat, we're all together. Shabbat brings us together, and it's good to be together. So let's light Shabbat candles. If you have a pair of Shabbat candles at your home, I want to invite you to go and get them, set them up now, and you can light yours with me, and that way you can have the light of Shabbat burning in your home and the candles just as we are here. Okay, so here we go.
Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu להדליק נר של שבת.
Shabbat Shalom. We're going to sing together now, as is traditional to do before we turn to the rest of the service. If you have the flip book of the prayer book in front of you, or you have an actual prayer book, you can turn to page 142 as we sing Shalom Aleichem. Please join me to welcome the angels of Shabbat.
Shalom Aleichem, Malachei HaSharei, Malachei Elyon, Melech Malchei HaMlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Boachem L'Shalom, Boachem L'Shalom, Malachei HaShalom. Malachei Elyon, Melech Malchei HaMlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Baruchuni L'Shalom, Baruchuni L'Shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Melech Malchei HaMlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Seifkem L'Shalom, Seifkem L'Shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Melech Malchei HaMlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. La la
la. Please join me. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La la la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. All right, page 130 if you're using the prayer book. To sing joyfully. L'chuna ranana. L'chuna ranana means come, let's sing and bring joy for Shabbat. L'chuna ranana, Adonai, Adonai, Navia, Navia, L'tzuya Sheinu. L'chuna ranana, Adonai, Adonai, Navia, Navia, L'tzuya Sheinu. L'chuna ranana, Adonai, Adonai, Navia, Navia, L'tzuya Sheinu. L'chuna ranana, Adonai, Adonai, Navia, L'tzuya Sheinu. La 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 Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom. L'chuna ranana, Adonai, Adonai, Navia, Navia, L'tzuya Sheinu. L'chuna ranana, Adonai, Adonai, Navia, Navia, L'tzuya Sheinu. L'chuna ranana, Adonai, Adonai, Navia. L'tzuya Sheinu. L'chuna ranana, Adonai, Adonai, Navia, L'tzuya Sheinu. Navia, L'tzuya Sheinu. So last night, was a minor Jewish holiday. You might not have known it, but the month of Nisan began yesterday. Yesterday was Rosh Chodesh Nisan, the first day of the month of Nisan, which of course is the month that Passover is included in. And Nisan is considered to be a month of freedom, of course, that the whole month of Nisan, according to Jewish tradition, carries the energy of liberation and hope of rebirth for the world. And certainly, you look around, spring has officially arrived, and that is the month of Nisan. Even though we're stuck in quarantine, right? Even though we're stuck inside, or we may not be able to connect with other people regularly, the world is coming back to life after winter. And this week, I want to encourage you, as you're going outside, as the weather is turning beautiful, as the days are getting longer, there is a Jewish tradition that when you go outside during the month of Nisan, at the very beginning, when you see new signs of hope, of new life, of the trees coming back to life, there's a blessing to say for the first time you see it. And here's the blessing. It comes from the Talmud. It says, Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, shelo chiser ba'olamo klum, uvara bo briot tovot ve'ilanot tovim lehenot behem b'nei adam. The blessing is, we say, blessed are you, Adonai, our God, ruler of the universe, who did not let anything at all be missing from the world, and who created good creatures and good trees, and trees that have fragrant smells to them, which bring pleasure to human beings. So I want to encourage you, even during this time when there's deep anxiety in the world, go outside this week, look at buds of spring that are coming up, trees that are beginning to flower, and say this blessing. Even if you don't say this blessing, you could say a similar blessing in your heart, and thank God for the way that the world is coming back to life. If you want to join me on page 654, the the song of the garden is Erev Shel Shoshanim. Shabbat itself is considered to be a garden in time. And we go out into Shabbat, into a garden, and as the day of Shabbat comes, we say, let there be fragrance and goodness. So please join me, Erev Shel Shoshanim. Erev Shel Shoshanim, Nitzena el habustan, Mor besamim ulevona, Leraglech titan. Laila yored, Laila yored le'at, Beruach Shoshan yoshva, Hava el chashlam shir balad, Zemer shel ahava. La la la, ya la 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 la. I encourage you to sing at home. La 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 la. La 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 la. 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 La 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 la. 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 La 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 la. We're ready to sing the Lechadodi now. If you have your Siddur in front of you, if you're using the flip book, turn to page 138 because Shabbat needs to be greeted, right? Shabbat comes on its own, but we also know that according to Jewish tradition, we have to take a step towards Shabbat. We have to come close to Shabbat. We have to do our own preparation and our own spiritual work. So I invite you to sing with me the Lechadodi as we greet the presence of Shabbat. Page 138, 139 in the Siddur if you're using it. La 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 Lechadodi, la 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 Likrat Kala, la 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 B'nei Shabbat, B'nei Shabbat Nekaven, la 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 Lechadodi, la 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 Likrat Kala. La 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 B'nei Shabbat, B'nei Shabbat Nekaven. Shamor v'zachor, Shamor v'zachor, V'dibor echad, Ish miyad, El ha'miuchad. Adonai echad, Shemo echad, L'shemo tiferet, L'tfilah. La la la, ya la 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 la, Lechadodi. La 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 la, Likrat Kala. La 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 la, B'nei Shabbat, B'nei Shabbat Nekaven. Likrat Shabbat, Lechu Elecha, Imekom Abraham, Verosh Mikesh, Yesuha, Sumaseh, B'machshava techilah. Ya la la, ya la 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 la, Lechadodi. La 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 la, Likrat Kala. La 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 la.
Shabbat, b'nei Shabbat, nikah.
Top of page 139.
Oy v'shalom, ateret bala, ateret bala, gam besimcha, utzola, tzvokemune, am segula. B'nei Shabbat, nikah, v'la la 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 lecha dodi, la 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 nikrat kala, la 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 b'nei Shabbat, nikah, la 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 lecha dodi, la 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 nikrat kala. La 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 b'nei Shabbat, b'nei Shabbat, nikah v'la.
Now I want to invite you, just wherever you are, just to close your eyes for a moment and to bring in a deep breath, to breathe it in. Jewish tradition says that on Shabbat we're given an extra neshama, an extra soul. So take a deep breath, breathe in the rest and blessing and goodness of Shabbat. Let the rest of the week fade away into the past. Take a deep breath. Shabbat Shalom. Great to have you with us. We're going to continue now with the Baruch Hu, the call to prayer. My page numbers may be wrong from what the flip book has, but in my prayer book, it's page 146.
La 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 la
Now we'll concentrate on the words of the Shema that teach the oneness of the universe, that everything, all being, in all time, in all space, the whole planet, everybody's connected. We certainly know that this week, this month, in some difficult ways, the world, everybody is connected, but also in some beautiful ways, right? The way that we're all taking care of each other, that the whole world looks out for one another, that caring and love and goodness, we remember more than ever that everybody is connected and everybody's responsible for one another. So please concentrate on the oneness of all being. Shema. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. 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 Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Le'olam Va'ed. Please join me. We'll chant the words of the Ve'ahavta together. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavecha u'b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol me'odecha. Ve'hayu ha'devarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha hayom al levavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta pam v'shivtecha b'beitecha u'b'lechtecha b'derech u'b'shukbecha u'b'kumhecha u'kshartam le'od al yadecha v'hayu letotafot ben einecha u'ktabtam al mezuzot beitecha u'b'hisharecha leman tizkeru va'asitem et kol mitzvotai v'yitem kedoshim le'Elohechem ani Adonai Elohechem asher hotzeiti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim liot lachem Elohim ani Adonai Elohechem Adonai Elohechem Emet. Page 62 or page 162 if you're using the words of the prayer book. Shabbat as a sign of the covenant for all time. A sign of connection between us and God. V'shameru b'nei Yisrael HaShabbat לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם די רני ובין בני ישראל אור היא לעולם כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ ביום השביעי שבת וינחש וביום השביעי שבת
עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת היום השביעי שבת וינפש וביום השביעי שבת וינפש.
Okay, now we're going to turn to the Amidah. We want to make sure that everybody has the opportunity to pray in their own way. I'll start with the words of the Avot ve'imachot, which recalls, actually the core of the prayer is the words where we say, Chasdei Avot ve'imachot, the chesed, the loving kindness of our ancestors. We're heirs to a tradition that teaches loving kindness. And it reminds us of the previous generations before us, going all the way back to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Sarah, Rebecca, Rachel, and Leah, who practiced chesed, loving kindness. So we say, Chasdei, Zocher Chasdei Avot ve'imachot. And I want to give you the opportunity after that to pray in your own way. Take a few moments. I just want you to consider what prayer is yours in your heart. There's no wrong way to pray. That's one thing that you definitely learn. So if you wish, you can stand wherever you are at home, or you can stay seated, whatever's going to work for you. And we'll start.
Adonai, sifatai tikatu, yagi tehillateka. Adonai, open up my lips, let my mouth declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, Elohei Avotinu v'Iloteinu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah. האל הגדול, הגיבור והנורא, אל עליון גומל חסדים טובים, וקונה הכל, וזוכר חסדי אבות ואימהות, ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם, למען שמו ויאהבה, מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן, ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם בעזרת שרה.
Invite you now to pray in whatever way you wish for just a few moments. It's time for us to recite a blessing for those who are sick. Mishaberach for the ill. And we know this week that there are thousands of people whose lives are in balance, and we ask God to bless them. In the Temple Sinai community, we have at least half a dozen people that I know of who are directly affected by the coronavirus or the disease that it's bringing about to people. And so we're asking God's blessing for all of them. Them and their family members and the people who love them, and we ask God to bless them with life and with health. I want to ask God's blessing for those who are in quarantine, those who are feeling alone. We ask God's blessing that you will not feel isolated or alone. And we pray for goodness and strength for you. And we also are keeping in our prayers all those medical professionals who are putting themselves at risk in order to save lives. We pray that they'll be protected and they'll find goodness and blessing in this terrible crisis. And in addition, we have people who are dealing with other illnesses, of course, and we ask God to bless them with health and with life and with healing, and that they should know that they're not forgotten. So in this extended Temple Sinai community, we ask God's blessing for all these people. These are the individuals who are in our hearts on this Shabbat. Robin Barinholtz, Doris Barinholtz, Amy Perlman, Avi Haupt, June Ziner, Jim Ziner, Ronnie Meckler, Marge Harvey, Allison Santucci, Penelope McPherson, Meredith Fine, Deborah Kaplan, Rabbi Robert Nosenchuk, Ann Single, Nicole Morris, Selma Grubert, Luann Luce, Sandra Borens, Robert Borens, Ben Slavitt, Alan Brackup, Michael Ben Bluma Ushmuel, Don David Ben Ezer Rachaya, Davida Emmanuel Bat Yecheskel Ephraim, Chanuch Ben Aharon Zev Rachalea, Sharona Bat Miriam, Velvel Ben Baruch Rachel, Ephraim Ben Malka Rachel, Liat Hadassah Bat Adina Michal, Shoshana Bat Moshe Ubella, Mordechai Lev Ben Yisrael, and all those who wish to remain anonymous as well. We ask God's blessing for them. I'm going to invite you now, if you wish, to say out loud the name of someone for whom you're asking God's blessing for health and for healing. May God bless them all with Refuat HaNefesh, Refuat HaGuf, healing of body and healing of spirit, complete healing. And together we'll say Amen. Please join me in the words that Moses said when he was asking for health and life for his sister Miriam. Ana elna refanala.
Ana elna refanala. Ana elna refanala.
God bless us all with courage and with strength and with healing. And together we say, Amen. Well, now I want to just share with you a few words about the week's Torah portion. And I think to do that, I want you to be closer to me. So I'm going to invite you. Personally, since this challenge, how quickly we've withdrawn from all of our external connections, gatherings with friends, going out to restaurants, seeing movies in public places, even going to the grocery store is now something that we've withdrawn from. And what occurs to me is that our physical external world has contracted. And that presents each of us with some very serious challenges. But here's the thing, this week's Torah portion tells us something very powerful during this time of distancing and self-quarantine. This week, we're looking at the beginning of the book of Leviticus, which on its face, if you're going to read through it, it seems like the most obscure book of the Torah, right? Filled with descriptions of ancient rituals and animal sacrifices and purity and impurity, all of which occurred inside the Mishkan, the portable tent that the Israelites used to worship God as they wandered through the desert. And it's just last week in the Torah portion that we were talking about the glorious architecture of the Mishkan, the beautiful gold and silver and bronze, the menorah, all its furnishings, the various courtyards and public spaces that the Israelites were in, the structure that would organize Jewish life for the Israelites. And now, this week, we transition to animal sacrifices. But here's the thing, is that I think that what's amazing is that this Torah portion, this transition to this week's Torah portion, contains the deepest secrets of connecting to God and of finding strength. Here's one hint of it. Rabbi Shalom Noach Berezovsky, who is one of the great Hasidic teachers from the last century, he was known by the name of his book, which is called Nitivot Shalom, the Paths of Peace, Nitivot Shalom. He pointed out that the Torah uses a very interesting word in a key verse. Leviticus chapter 2, verse 1. You can look it up tomorrow if you want, or even when we're done. It says, V'nefesh ki takriv korban mincha labnai. It says, when a nefesh makes a gift offering to the Eternal One, the description of making the animal sacrifices. It could have said when a person brings an animal sacrifice, but what it says is ki nefesh, when a nefesh is the word for a soul, like a soul. It seems that the Torah, he says, is reminding us that the essence of connecting to God is from deep within our souls. And he points out that when talking about the sacrifices, the Talmud says that actually the most important thing when offering the sacrifices is sheikaven nefesh et libo lashamayim, that a person would direct their heart to God in making the offering. In other words, despite all of the details, despite all the gory blood and everything with the animal sacrifices, the essence of the ritual and the essence of all prayer is maybe not even the words that are said or the things that are offered, but what God really desires is the heart deep within. That's why it says nefesh, that it matters what's in your soul. And here's the idea. Now, in this time, when so much of our physical and material world and our experience of it has contracted, it's important to keep in mind that just as the Torah moves from last week being in a physical space, being in the external physical place, now we move to a place deep within us, deep within the human heart and the soul. And just as the Torah makes that move, we're experiencing that move. And I'm struck by how important it is during this time to cultivate and to pay attention to our inner lives, finding inner strength to deal with this challenge. attending to our friendships, making a special effort to connect with people. That comes from our hearts. To reconnect maybe with friendships with friends we haven't been in touch with in a long time. To care for others. Our caring network did an amazing job this week reaching out to people that we thought were vulnerable in the synagogue. A beautiful act of caring. To cultivate our sense of creativity that comes definitely from within us. Creativity is an internal characteristic. To cultivate our resilience and to cultivate our patience and our loving kindness. To take a few moments for our own personal prayer, which builds personal strength. If you're concerned about people, specific people who are sick, pour out your love for them. Reach within and bring that out towards them. Because this is what the Talmud says. Just to reiterate, what God really desires is the heart. Rachmana liba ba'i. What God seeks is the heart. So this is a time for going in. We've all moved to a new place, not by our choosing. Let that place, though, be the heart. Let it be the soul, because that is the essence of Jewish spiritual experience. Shabbat shalom. Now we're going to conclude with the Aleinu and the Kaddish. So don't go away. And if you're following along in the prayer book, we're on page 6, which might be 486. Either way, please join me. Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, לתת גדולה ליוצר פרשי, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם כפינו כהן וגאל עלינו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. על כן נקבל לך אדוני אלוהינו לראות מהרה בתפארת עוזך, לתקן עולם במלכות שדי. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו echad. In the words of the Mourner's Kaddish in my prayer book, page 598, maybe page 498 if you're using the flip book. And on this Shabbat in our community, we're remembering these individuals whose yahrzeits are observed this week in the calendar. Alfred Bertel, Florence Breitstein, Pearl Sirota Cotton, Ethel Crash, Meyer Ehrlich, Rachel Engelsman, Samuel Fasten, Charlie Gamer, Florence Flossie Goldstein, Dora Esther Cam, Art Moger, Blanche Prince Hubscher, Arthur Sable, Theodore Salzman, Sadie Schnur, Charles Shapiro, Joseph Sherman, Abraham Schulman, David J. Snyder, Hyman Sobel, Lori Weinstein, and Morris Weintraub. And in the past 30 days, the period of Shloshim, we remember these individuals as a community, and we extend our condolences to their family members. We remember August Donnelly, nephew of our member Andy Levy, and Andy and Roberta, we offer you our condolences. We remember Lorraine Reinhold, aunt of Rose Parizeau. Rose, we offer you our condolences. Arvind Grable, friend of Dina and Michael Blau, we offer Dina and Michael our condolences. Barbara Goldstein, cousin of Enid Gamer. Marilyn Carno, grandmother of Leah Carno, who's our family education coordinator. We offer Leah and her family our condolences. We remember Stephen Alpert, uncle of Brad Herscott, and Karen Newman Lawy, cousin of Janet Fine and Larry Hardoon. In addition to those people, I want to invite you now to recite the name of somebody you're remembering in your heart on this Shabbat. Together, we'll recite the Mourner's Kaddish. Yitgadal v'yitchadash Shemei Rabbah, בעלמא דברה חירותי וימליך מלכותי, בחייכון ובלונכון, ובחיי דכל בית ישראל, בעגלה ובזמן קריב ואמרו אמן. יהי שמי רבם מברך לעולם ולעולמי עלמיא, יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא, ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל, שמי דקודשא בריחו, לעילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה, תושבחתה ונחמתה, דמירן בעלמא ואמרו אמן. יהי שלמה רבה מן שמיא, וחיים עלינו ועל כל ישראל, ואמרו אמן. עושה שלום במרומיו, ויעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל, ועל כל יושבי תבל, ואמרו amen. And in addition, I want to also mention the name of Lou Popke, whose yahrzeit is observed, father of my mother-in-law, Carol Hausman, and my wife's grandmother. May his memory be for blessing as well. May God hold dear the memories of all whose memories we recall, and may they all be blessed with shalom, and may we be blessed with shalom. Amen. All right, Shabbat Shalom. A few announcements, don't go away. First of all, it's great to see so many people on live right now. My statistics showed something like we peaked again at 708 different devices, so maybe we have as many as 175 people who've been watching Shabbat services. It's great to have you. It brings us all together. I want to thank all the members of our community for all the ways that we're exhibiting caring for each other, and I especially want to thank members of our caring network who've really done a great job. A few things. Tomorrow we have Shabbat morning Torah study at 9 o'clock. Lots of different ways for you to connect. Shabbat morning Torah study at 9 o'clock. You can take a look at the temple website for the link for Zoom. And then on Sunday, lots of different adult learning opportunities. We have meditation with Neil Motenko at 9:30. Our Daf Shavui Talmud group also meets at 9:30. Doug Bittman, who's a member of our synagogue and a clinical psychologist, is teaching a class called Anger Management in the Bible. That's at 10 minutes after 11, also by Zoom. And Beginner's Hebrew, taught by Robin Orwant, is at 2 o'clock. All of those things are on Sunday, so you can look at the Sinai update or the temple website to get the exact Zoom link and click on that to join those things. My Thursday study group this week will continue to study the Haggadah at 10:15 in the morning on Thursday, so we want to encourage people to join us for that. Lots going on for teens in our community. Some teenagers are out of school, I've heard, but there's stuff for them to do. We have teen yoga this coming Sunday at 8 p.m., and we want to encourage teens to join us for that. Lots of different ways to get ready for Passover. Passover is Wednesday night, April 8th. First night of Seder. If you'd like to be matched or host somebody via Zoom during this time of social distancing, Temple Sinai is matching people for first night Seder. So if you are hosting a Seder by Zoom and you'd like to include some people, or if you're looking for a Seder to attend for first night, sign up through the Temple website. There's a Google Doc for you. Second night of Seder, Jeremy Wolf, who's a Temple Sinai member, will be hosting and leading our Temple Sinai Community Seder. And that is the second night of Seder. We're asking people to sign up for that as well. There are all sorts of classes for Passover and workshops by Zoom. Talia Stein, our student rabbi, this coming Tuesday is leading a session called How to Lead a Seder by Zoom, and the class is by Zoom too. So that's March 31st, Tuesday night. Shani Rosenbaum, who is a rabbinic student at Hebrew College, is our guest teacher for our adult learning workshop on Passover, Sunday, April 5th. The big news is this also: if you would like a Passover box that contains all of the different items that you need for your Passover Seder, amazingly, Combined Jewish Philanthropies, CJP, is providing these boxes. And so if you have never led Seder before, or it's a mystery perhaps, or difficult for you to pull together all the items, or if it's too difficult for you to go out and go shopping, we know that there are a lot of people who are staying away from grocery stores, you can get a Passover box, like your own Passover kit from CJP. Look for an email from us this week to find out how you can do that. And that is a great service that CJP is offering this year. Again, your own Pesach kit. So stay tuned for that. Tomorrow morning, Shabbat morning Torah study, I already mentioned. And we have Shabbat morning services here in the sanctuary, including the bar mitzvah for Gabe Samuels, who is the son of Emma Samuels and Mike Samuels. That's at 10:45. But here's the thing, of course, we're trying to make sure that everybody stays safe. So it will just be me and his family who will be here. Everyone else, we encourage you to join us through this YouTube link. It's the same YouTube link that you have signed up through, that you've logged on to tonight to come to Shabbat services. SinaiBrookline.org/video service, 10:45 tomorrow morning, and you can join us for Shabbat morning services and celebrate Gabe Samuels becoming a bar mitzvah with us. In general, check out the temple website, SinaiBrookline.org, for a full listing of our events. Now, we're going to conclude first with a special blessing for everybody. And again, I want to come close to you. So, it's a tradition to recite blessings for people you care about on Friday night. So I want to ask God's blessing for everybody who's watching tonight in this frightening time, a time of anxiety and a time of challenge. And we ask God's blessing for one another. So if you wish, you can join me, you can close your eyes, and you can receive this blessing, a blessing of protection and a blessing of shalom.
Yivarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha.
May God bless you and protect you.
Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'yichuneka.
May God shine light upon you and be good to you.
Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom. Shalom.
May God smile upon you, upon your household, upon all whom you care about, and bless you all with life and peace and blessing and shalom, wholeness. Amen. Shabbat shalom. And now we're going to conclude with the blessing over the Kiddush motzi, the Kiddush grape juice rather, and then the motzi. So, please join me.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu, v'shabbat kodsho v'ahava uvratzon hinchilanu, zikaron lema'aseh v'reishit, ki hu yom techila lemikra'ei kodesh, zecher l'tziat Mitzrayim, ki banu v'acharta, ve'otanu kidashta, mikol ha'amim, ve'shabbat kodshecha, ve'ahava uvratzon hinchaltanu. Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh hashavat. Amen. L'chaim.
May the sweetness of Shabbat be yours. And last, perhaps you have a challah at home. I've got one mini challah here, but it is a Cheryl Ann. So here you go. Please join with me in the motzi. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen. Shabbat shalom.